This is a short demonstration of the app Risk Register, Risk Management, Jira and Confluence. It now is run in the product view, a Risk Register view here. So let us just do this to see a little bit more. The application, it runs completely on the Atlassian Forge platform. It has the highest security badge, runs on Atlassian. And this means that it's completely running on Atlassian infrastructure. It also means that the data is preserved within the Atlassian infrastructure, so nothing is leaving Atlassian. And finally, it also means that the data is kept in the region that you have for your Jira instance. And as you can see, it's a complete Excel experience. You can edit here in line, everything is editable in line. You can change the size of the column, you can swap around, you can do search like that, even a complete search, or you can search on the individual columns. You can also start to filter here on the individual columns. So we wanted to provide an Excel experience. So we have a number of Jira columns available. If you're not happy with that one, you can then add your own. We have a number of default Jira fields. You can also add any Jira field or any custom field that you create. And then independent of the type of the custom fields is still editable within the risk register. Okay, so let's move then to the risk matrix. A risk matrix is a key thing. It's a mapping between the impact and probability you do in risk assessment. So, for example, this catastrophic impact and probability frequent has then the highest severity or highest. And you can also change it here directly if you want. If I remove it or reduce it a little bit, then you can see it's actually then moving down to here. You don't see it anymore. You have a number of reports available. All risk assessment is JQL searchable, so you can report in any kind of reporting tool you have, but we have these 4 available. I can also say that they are also available as Jira dashboard gadgets, and also you can put them on Confluence. The complete solution you can put on Confluence. Risk severity, risk score, cumulative severity and open assigned. You can toggle between the residual risk and inherent risk. A residual risk is then risk that you have after mitigation. So then let's jump to mitigation. So in our solution, a mitigation is a child issue. So this is a child issue that mitigates that top risk. And a child issue can be any kind of child that Jira supports. It could be a linked issue, it could be a subtask, or it could be a child issue like a child issue in Epics. It can be you can configure this in any way you want. And of course, if you configure it, then of course those mitigations will be shown here. I can also mention a pretty cool thing. If I do the filtering here, and then jump around, then you only see a subset here. So let's move back. And the reason I filter on the residual risk is if I go like here, I need to see residual here if you want to see only the residual. But let's remove that one. A few key things here before moving on. You can copy this link to clipboard, and then of course you then add it. For example, on Confluence, you click the link and you jump directly to the risk register. You can export to Excel, CSV, and then all the columns, you get a nice export. And in Excel, you also have the colors preserved. Okay, let's talk about risk assessment then. So risk assessment in our solution this is a Jira issue, and then we do a risk assessment. We add some metadata to it here. So if you, for example, click on this one here, 496, you can see then the risk assessment for that one is done here. This is the widget that we show if you have done a risk assessment. You can then create new risk assessment from here. But we also support, you can do all the risk assessment outside of the solution. You just create a normal Jira issue. So my top risk. And then you have these risk custom fields, editable custom fields here. So frequent, probability, and also catastrophic impact here. If I then do a risk assessment, it will be done automatically. We have a background trigger who then does this risk assessment based on the probability and impact. So I do the create, and then for this to show up here, I need to refresh. And then you see it here. It's then also, of course, having the severity as we did set. And this is actually a very powerful thing because you can then work with risk management and maybe have like the severity custom field in a swim lane and then automatically see the highest one without even having to open the risk solution. So if I then jump back to this, the one we created, as I said, this is then the assessment, and of course you can change it from here. And then you see then also the risk custom field, edible risk custom field is updated. You can add comments, you can set residual risk, you can see where it is on the risk matrix. When you do risk assessment, we write it to the comments, but we also have the risk assessment tab, which is more like an audit trail. You cannot edit this one here, so you can also see what has been done from a risk assessment perspective. If you don't see this widget, then you can select this one and then it will always be visible in the project. You can configure this in our solution to always be visible. Finally, you can also do like risk assessment from the issue action here. And then you see it in this modal experience instead. Okay, that was number 2, risk assessment. Let's just jump then to a little bit of how to configure the solution. Jump to risk registers, launch it from the apps menu. Then I go big, and you can see that you have a number of risk registers here. You have different type. It could be project type, or it could be board type, or it could be JKL type. And as I said, a risk assessment is only metadata you add to a work item. So that means that the risk can be in multiple risk registers. You can easily aggregate risk. So just go here and you create like all, and you do it here, and you can have any kind of JQL here, like project equal moon. But also if you have it empty, you actually select like all then the risk in the solution. So it's very easy to aggregate across. When it comes to configurations, you have settings. You can change more or less everything here. You can change the language. You can then decide like if I want to do risk assessment on all issues, work items, or maybe only one work item. And the same thing goes for the for projects. Which one is the one I want to do risk assessment? Auto add risk. This is then run by a powerful background trigger in the Forge Atlassian platform. And that means that you can automatically do a risk assessment to unspecified, then of course based on these above settings here, or you can only show the risk widget if you want to make sure that that's always visible here for the work items. We have the risk model, a powerful one. We have a default one, and you can create your own ones. This is the one we looked at. We applied the Jira Projects Moon to this Moon team risk model. And if you open this one, this is the risk matrix. And this you can configure everything you can change. You can add like your own severity. All the labels you could change. You can even add like a definition if you want them to help the users on how to do the risk assessment here. But let's just move back. You have these Jira fields, Jira risk custom fields. These are out of the box available. All the risk assessment is available, risk custom fields. Then you have this dynamic one you create, and then when you create this one, you then select the default, also the risk model that you want them to populate the risk custom fields. So the values in the drop down when you select probability and impact is then coming from the risk model here. And then you also add then the risk custom fields then to the corresponding issue screen. And final one, you can then import either from an Excel risk register or like if you have existing work items you want them to do a risk assessment automatically. Okay, and then just to see how this is coming together, this is the board, the risk register board we looked at in the project view. and then everything is available as we showed previously here. Okay, that was number 3. Let's then move to dashboard gadgets. So we have 3 dashboard gadgets. The first one I want to show you is the complete risk register. And this is a register you can change. You can do all the things we've done here before. You can do it directly in this dashboard view. And the interesting thing with this one is that you can then select this copy link and you paste it to Confluence, and then it means that you see this complete in the Confluence, and then you can do complete risk management and visibility from Confluence. So we also have 2 other gadgets. We have the risk matrix gadget, this left one, and then we have risk reports. And the same thing goes with this one. You can just easily add them to Confluence, just copy the link. And I think one cool thing with this one is that you can select JQL in the risk report here. So it's very easy to aggregate risk across. Okay, let's look at the final thing then, JQL. Let's then go to filter. Let's get that a bit smaller, and then we go to this one here. And here you see then a filter JQL, risk severity high, and project moon. And you get this subset. So this is the risk severity high, and you can see this is the moon project. And then on the right there, I've added then as column all the risk custom fields here. To get the custom fields, just do write risk like that, and you have them all here. So if we can take this severity equals low, and the project equals moon like that, and you get then the one that you wanted there. So this was a short demonstration of the app risk register for Jira and Confluence. It's available at Atlassian Marketplace. It's free install, 30 days trial. So just install it if this sounds interesting, and we're happy to support if you just reach out. And I hope you're going to enjoy our solution. Thank you.